today I have something a little different for you. I'm going to teach you a song. Actually, I'm going to teach you the meaning of the words to a song that I like. I feel it's a song with a very good message, and so I want to share it with you, help you to understand it. Sometimes we hear songs. I know sometimes you listen to English songs and you don't understand the words so much. You don't understand exactly what the singer is trying to say. So this is an old song by Bon Jovi. It's a favorite karaoke song for a lot of people. So I want to teach it to you. It's a fun one to sing. It's got a really great meaning that I really love. So it's called It's My Life. It's My Life. And the band is called Bon Jovi. B-O-N, and then the second word, J-O-V-I, Bon Jovi. That's a person's name. The lead singer, the leader of the band, his name is John Bon Jovi. So, it's my life. So I'm going to just go through the words, sentence by sentence, and teach you the direct meaning and also maybe the more deep and emotional meaning too, so that you have a strong feeling for what this song is about. So, the beginning of the song, the first line is, "This ain't a song for the broken-hearted." So first that word ain't. This ain't a song for the broken-hearted. Ain't is a kind of casual English. We don't use it in writing usually, but for speaking we use it. And ain't means is not. Sometimes it means am not or are not. So we use it instead of that. It's a very casual way. So this is not a song for the brokenhearted. That's the meaning. This ain't a song for the brokenhearted. Same meaning. So it's not a song for the brokenhearted. Of course, brokenhearted, that means people who are sad. If your heart is broken, it means you're very sad. Maybe you're depressed. Your life is not going well. Maybe you lost someone who you loved, but you're basically feeling sad and weak and depressed. So, in the first line, Bon Jovi is saying, he's saying, this song is not for people like that. This is not a song for sad people. This is not a song for depressed people. This is not a song for lonely people. It's not a song for weak people. It is not a song for those people, for brokenhearted. Okay, and then the next line is, no silent prayer for the faith departed. Faith departed. Now this sentence, it's not a normal sentence. It's not something we would say in a conversation. It's more like poetry. So it's a special way of saying it in a song, but we would not actually use this sentence normally in a conversation. But let me teach you the meaning anyway. So no silent prayer. So it's not a silent prayer, not a quiet prayer. For the faith departed. What does he mean by that? Faith departed means people who have lost their faith, right? They have lost their confidence. They have lost their belief in themselves or in a deeper meaning, in a deeper purpose. So again, it's similar to the first sentence. He's saying this song it's not a silent prayer. It's not a message for people who have lost their faith. This is not a song for people who are weak. This is not a song for people who have no faith, no belief. This is not a song for people who have no confidence. It's not a song for people who are sad. Okay, so it's the introduction. He's introducing the purpose of this song, who it's for and who it's not for. It's not for those people. And so now he starts the more direct message. The third line, he says, I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. So again, ain't means, here it means am not. I am not gonna be. Gonna means going to. Again, this is casual English. So he's saying, I am not going to be just a face in the crowd. This is a metaphor. A metaphor is a comparison, right? It's kind of like poetry again. And this is a common phrase in English. A face in the crowd. It means just like everyone else, right? A crowd is a large group of people. If you're just a face in the crowd, it means you're just the same as everyone else in a big group. You're just the same as everyone else in the crowd, in the large group. You're not different. You're not special. You're just the same. You do what everyone else does. So Bon Jovi in this song, he's saying, I'm not gonna be. I'm not going to be. I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. He's saying, I'm not going to be just like everyone else. I'm not going to be the same like everyone else. I'm not going to follow what everyone else does. I'm not going to act the same way and live the same way as everyone. The next line he says, you're gonna hear my voice when I shout it out loud. Okay, so you're gonna means you are going to, again, future, right? You're going to hear my voice when I shout it out loud. It means his voice. So you're going to hear his voice when he shouts loudly. So again, he's giving the idea he's not going to be quiet. He's not going to just be like everyone else. He's going to shout so that everyone can hear him. Okay, and then it comes to the main part of the song, the part that repeats many times. That's called the chorus. And in the chorus, he sings these same lines several times during the song. This is his main message, okay? This is what he's shouting to everybody. He's saying, it's my life, right? So he's kind of gives the idea, I'm special. It's my life. It's not your life. It's not other people's life. He's like, I'm living my own life in my own way. That's his message. That's the message of this song. He said, it's now or never. It's my life. It's now or never. It's now or never means I'm going to act now. I'm going to be decisive. This is a very common English phrase. It's now or never. It means you must act now. You can't wait. You can't be scared. You have to do what you need to do right now. Take action now. That's the message of that sentence, that phrase. It's now or never. He says, I ain't gonna live forever. That's the next line. Again, ain't means am not, in this case. So I am not going to. I am not going to live forever. I ain't gonna live forever. So he's saying, again, I'm not going to live forever. I am going to die someday. That means I have to live right now. I can't wait. Don't wait to live your life. Live now. Live fully right now. That's what he's saying. He says, in the next line, he says it more clearly, more directly. He says, I just want to live while I'm alive. I just want to live while I'm alive. Okay? So, again, he's saying, I want to live fully. That's really the message in that sentence. He doesn't say the word fully, but it gives that feeling. The way he's singing it, the emotion. He's saying, I want to live fully. I want to live completely right now while I'm still alive. Right? He says, I'm not going to live forever. I am going to die someday. But right now I'm alive and I want to live completely. I want to live fully. I just want to live while I'm alive. That's the meaning of that sentence. Then the next part of the chorus, the next line is, my heart is like an open highway. This is a little like poetry again, right? So an open highway, this is a very romantic image, very American in some ways. The open highway gives this idea of freedom is really what it is, the symbol. That's what it's communicating. So in American culture especially, this idea of an open highway, an open road, a road going into the distance for a long way, and there's nobody else on that road. It's this romantic image of traveling, of exploring, of going new places, right? Of freedom, going where you want to go, doing what you want to do. So he's saying his heart is like that. So what he's saying is, my heart is open, my heart is free. That's the meaning of that. My heart is like an open highway. My heart is open, my heart is free. The next line, he says, like Frankie said, I did it my way. So, who's Frankie? So he says, like Frankie said, I did it my way. Well, Frankie here, he's talking about Frank Sinatra, a famous singer, very famous singer, who's no longer alive, but he's talking about Frank Sinatra, and he's talking about maybe the most famous song by Frank Sinatra, which is called My Way. You've probably heard of this song before, My Way by Frank Sinatra. And that song also, Frank Sinatra's song, My Way, is about living your own life, having your own values, being true to yourself, not doing what everyone else says you should do, but doing what you feel is right, living your own life, being strong enough to be yourself. Right? So he's talking about that Frank Sinatra song. He's saying, yes, that's how I'm going to live. like Frankie said, like Frank Sinatra said, I did it my way. It means living. So he's saying, I lived my own way. So like Frankie said, I did it my way means like Frank Sinatra said, I lived my own life. I lived my own way. And then he says again, I just want to live while I'm alive. I just want to live while I'm alive. I want to live fully while I'm still alive. And then it's my life, right? It's my life, not other people's. All right, and then into the next part of the song, he says, in the beginning of the song, he said, this is not for, he said, this song is not for people who are depressed, not for people who are sad. Well, in this next part, he says, who is it for? He says, this is for the ones who stood their ground. So that's a great phrase in English, stood their ground, to stand your ground. To stand your ground means to refuse to quit. It means you will not quit. You will not surrender, right? It has this idea that you're fighting, you're having a battle, and you will not go backwards, right? That's what it comes from. So if someone's attacking you, instead of backing up, you stand your ground. It means you stand in the same spot. You will not go backwards. You will not let other people push you backwards. You stay where you are and you fight. So he's saying this song is for people who stood their ground, for the ones who stood their ground. It means for the people who fought for their life, who fought for their own beliefs. They would not quit, people who would not quit. The next line says, for Tommy and Gina, who never back down. Tommy and Gina, just two people. Maybe it's two people that he knows in his life. But so it's for people, these two people, who never backed down. To back down, that's another common phrase in English. To back down means to quit. It's the opposite of standing your ground. If you back down, it means you retreat, you quit, you run away. So he's saying this song is for people who don't run away. This song is for people who fight for their beliefs, who fight for themselves. Okay, the next line says, tomorrow is getting harder, make no mistake. So that's pretty clear. He's saying that life is getting more and more tough, right? That basically in the future, your life is not going to get easier. There are always going to be challenges. There are always going to be difficult things. So he says, make no mistake means, don't believe the opposite, right? If you believe life will be always easy, you're making a mistake. So he's saying, don't make that mistake. He's telling you, life will not always be easy. Tomorrow is getting harder. Tomorrow you will have problems. You will have difficult challenges. The next line says, luck ain't even lucky. You've got to make your own breaks. Got to make your own breaks. Okay, first, luck ain't even lucky. What is he saying by that? There's a lot of ways you could think about that line. But he's saying that, being lucky is actually not lucky. So what he's saying is that my idea about this line, it's not a direct, clear meaning, but my idea about this line is that he's saying that sometimes when you're lucky, you think you're lucky, something easy happens for you, something good, that sometimes that's not actually good because you learn to be lazy. You learn to always look for something to be lucky instead of fighting. So sometimes it's not good to be lucky, right? Sometimes it's better to have to fight and struggle because it teaches you to be tougher. I believe that's what he's saying. And then the last line, he's saying, got to make your own breaks. You got to means you have to. You have to make your own breaks. Breaks here means opportunities. Opportunities. So he's saying you must make your own opportunities, right? A lot of people sit around waiting for something good to happen, waiting for luck. He's saying you can't do that. You have to make your own luck. You have to make your own opportunities. You have to make your own success. You have to fight for it yourself. Okay? Then the next thing, they have the same chorus again. It's my life. It's now or never. I ain't going to live forever. The same thing, which I already told you. And then there's kind of like a guitar solo. And then the last line of the song is, better stand tall when they're calling you out. Don't bend, don't break, don't back down. Okay, so let's go through that. Better stand tall when they're calling you out. Let's talk about that sentence. Okay, to stand tall. Better mean you better stand tall. you better do something, you better whatever, that means that you should or that you must. So he's saying you must stand tall. You better stand tall. You should stand tall. That's the meaning. To stand tall, you can imagine it, right? If you're standing tall, it means to be confident. It means to be strong. It means to be bold, right? Not afraid, not weak. So he's saying you should be strong. You should stand strong. You should have a strong attitude. You should be strong when they're calling you out. When they're calling you out. It just means anybody out in the world who's maybe doing something bad against you or trying to fight you or causing problems for you. Now, to calling you out, if someone calls you out, it means to challenge you. So he's saying you must stand tall, you must stand strong when they are challenging you, when they're calling you out. This kind of has an idea from like cowboy movies, right? Calling you out, it means, you can imagine the cowboy movies, the guy, they have guns, they're wearing these guns, and the good guy is the hero, he's inside the bar, right? He's in the bar. And then the bad guy, he's out in the street, and he starts yelling into the bar, "Come out here and fight! Come here and fight!" That's the idea. That's calling someone out, right? It means you're calling them to come out and fight you. That's where this idea comes from. Come out and fight, right? The bad guy is calling out the good guys. Come out here and fight me. That's where it comes from. So the meaning of that whole line, better stand tall when they're calling you out, means you should stand strong, you should be strong when anybody, is challenging you, is causing a problem for you, is trying to fight you, is doing anything against you where you need to fight and do what you need to do. Maybe it's not a specific person. Maybe it's just, the economy is bad, right? But the idea is you must stand strong when you're facing a struggle, when you're facing a challenge. And then the last part of that, don't bend, don't break, don't back down. Don't bend means, you have the idea. It means don't get weak, don't get soft. Don't break, obviously, means don't be defeated, don't quit. And again, don't back down. We talked about that before. To back down means to go backwards, to quit, to act weak. He's saying, be strong again. That's what that line means. Don't bend, don't break, don't back down. He means don't compromise, don't be weak, don't retreat, don't go backwards. Stand strong and keep fighting, is what he's saying. Live your own life. Don't worry about criticism. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about other people attacking you. You stand and you live your own life in your own way. So this song is very much, and then he has the chorus, it's my life. They sing the same lines again. So overall, this song is really about being an individual. It's about having your own values and living a life that is special to you and being true to yourself and finding your own beliefs and finding your own goals and your own meaning in life and living that. Because most people, of course, they just follow what other people tell them, what teachers tell them, what parents tell them, what the government tells them, what the TV tells them. Most people are afraid to live their own life. He's saying this is a song for people who are not afraid. So he's trying to encourage you to live your own life. And he's saying that he's doing that too. So the final part of this song, I would say, is just the emotion. When you listen to this song, it's a kind of a defiant song in a way. It's rebellious in a way, right? It's kind of, not angry is not really the right word, but he's kind of like he's standing up and challenging everyone else in the world, saying, I will not be defeated, right? So it's a very kind of strong, passionate song. So you can Google this song, It's My Life by Bon Jovi. You can find it on YouTube or you can find it on iTunes. So listen to this podcast a few times. You'll understand the meaning. And then if you want to sing it in karaoke or just sing it in your car or in your house, you'll understand what you're saying and you'll understand the emotion and the spirit of the song.